We are back. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're glad you could join us for the final day of the Dallas ISD Smart Restart Virtual Parent Conference 2020. Our second session for the evening is Community Conversation. I'm happy to introduce Ms. Monique Jones from the Racial Equity Office of Dallas ISD, where their mission is to eliminate systemic disparities and ensure equity so all students, regardless of race, have the opportunity to graduate equipped to compete in a society and world that is racially and culturally diverse. So without further ado, Ms. Jones, if you are ready, I'll turn it over to you at this time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for inviting us to be here. Good afternoon to all of our DISD families. My name is Monique Jones, and I am one of the coordinators for the Racial Equity Office. And so today I'm going to spend a little bit of time with you introducing to you our office, the purpose of our work, and what we have been doing and what we plan to do going forward. Next slide, please. The Racial Equity Office, also known as REO, is actually one of the newer departments of the district. Following the results of a racial equity audit that was conducted for the district, the Racial Equity Site Team was established in August of 2017. And this site team held bi-monthly planning meetings to begin to lay the groundwork of what equity would look like in the district. On December 14th, 2018, our Board of Trustees approved the Racial Socioeconomic Educational Equity Resolution. And this resolution made the bold statement that the district would commit to addressing the inequities it found in the district and their impact on students. In April of 2018, the Racial Equity Office was established, and this office would be the vehicle through which those inequities would be addressed. On June 21st, 2018, by unanimous vote of the Board of Trustees, our racial equity policy was approved. And this policy, it's what drives the work of our office, as well as the desired outcomes for the district. Now, what is the purpose of our office? I'm glad you asked. The purpose is to systematically and systemically change the district and its practices in order to achieve and maintain racial equity in education. Now, how do we do that? Through developing and implementing projects, through creating opportunities to eliminate inequitable practices found in the district, identifying and best addressing those inequities, internal and external to the district, and then also monitoring progress and measuring that to ensure that the efforts that we're taking, the action steps, are actually implementing the effect and being effective as we desire. And so the way in which we work towards such a grand purpose, right, is through 7 initiatives. And they include academic achievement, equity, and cultural competence. And that is talking about enhancing education and instructional practices so that we can prepare all students for college and or career success. While also engaging students in culturally competent and responsive pedagogy. The second initiative is instructional equity. And that is speaks to the training programs that build teacher effectiveness, right? While again, enhancing culturally responsive practices. Programmatic equity is the next initiative. And that's talks about removing systematic inequities and creating equitable access to programs such as advanced placement courses, magnet or collegiate academies, lottery systems, pre-K, those items. The next initiative, leadership and operations, and that's talking about evaluating our operating systems in the district, our processes through accountable leadership. Right, we want to be accountable to what we're stating and what we're claiming to believe in. The next initiative, workplace and workforce culture. And what is this? This is investing in all of our DISD staff through professional development that helps to create a culturally responsive workforce, and not just teachers, not just administrators, but everyone. Because we're all part of this work, and we are all needed to acquire and to reach the change that we desire to have. And then the last one is, the next one is facility and location impact. That's establishing mobility solutions, right? Through gaining an understanding of what is going on in the life of our students, right? Addressing the human and social needs of our students. And then lastly, the internal and external community partnerships. And so this initiative talks about establishing those partnerships, right, internal and external to the district, that help to foster accountability systems, right, that help to encourage civic participation, because again, this is a work that requires partnership both inside the district and outside. So what have we been up to? What have we been doing? In our 2 years, 2+ years now of existence, we have been quite busy. And so some of those projects and accomplishments include our African American and Mexican American Studies courses. You may have heard of this, seen this on the news and the news articles, but this was something that we were able to roll out, right, and train teachers for this newly approved course. And the numbers and enrollment are going up and up. And so we are excited about that. Another project is our No Place for Hate, where we have over 18 campuses that were identified this past year as being campuses of No Place for Hate. And they had to implement a number of initiatives for the program in order to receive that title. Also, our equity and bond. This is something also you may have seen through various marketing campaigns. And if you haven't, we want you, we need your voice to be a part of this. And so this is something where we've been overseeing community input for the development of student and family resource centers, which are going to be included in the upcoming bond. Another project is our cultural intelligence, also known as CQ. So this is our district-wide professional development training, right, for all staff to help foster inclusive environments and practices within the district. And another initiative is our pre-K program, right, where we identified and located barriers to accessing those programs so that we could help build greater equity in that early childhood learning. So as we remain busy at work, we also continue to evaluate other areas that need to be addressed in the district. And so having said that, our office continues to grow and build as a department. And so we are excited for the direction that we are moving into. This past year, the organization's ERS and the working group identified additional ways we as a district must continue to improve equity for students, right? There's always areas and spaces where we can be better, right? And so we're calling these areas big ideas. And they include 10 components. And so the first one is expanding support for teachers at higher need schools, supporting the hiring of strong teachers at higher need schools, accelerating teacher growth through meaningful, intentional collaboration, investing in strong leaders at higher need schools, right? Leadership matters, ensuring equitable access to application and lottery programs, AP courses, providing coordinated school budgets, staffing and scheduling options that help to optimize resource use for students, right? Equity, we have to be aware of where the money is, where the resources being placed. Another one, determining funding levels, right? That differentiate for student need and incoming performance. Again, equity, we don't give everything equal, right? Because with equity, you're recognizing that some may need more. And the last 3 of the 10, they speak to the foundation of success for all of these big ideas, right? And so those last 3 include investing in an equity mindset, right? We want to continually be thinking through the lens of equity, right? Being intentional with our actions. The next one, meaningfully engaging stakeholders. And so our partnerships, internal departments, external, right? We want that to be meaningful, intentional in this work. And then last, but certainly not the least, actually, if I could argue, probably one of the most important is the measuring, monitoring, and reporting on progress. In other words, accountability. What are we doing? Is it effective? Do we need to kind of change directions? And so we recognize the great importance of this work and the huge responsibility that comes with it. And so we have a team of people who are truly dedicated to not just the policy or the vision of equity, but the very work itself. And so our team is small, but it is mighty, as I like to describe us. And it includes our newly appointed Deputy Chief, Dr. Sharon Quinn, and team coordinators that cover the areas of data analysis, community engagement, curriculum and instruction, and also project management. So how would someone get in contact with our office? Phone, email, social media. We want to hear from you. We are located in the Linus D. Wright Administration Building on the 11th floor. And you can email us at racialequity@dallasisd.org. You have a phone number there. You can call us there. And also you can check out our website, our webpage on the DISD website. We are developing that, and so it will continue to change and be updated with new information. But it also will become a resource for you families of DISD to see what is our office up to, right? What are our next goals? What are the next steps that we are taking? And then lastly, please follow us on social media. We are on Facebook at Race Equity DISD, and on Twitter at DISD, or excuse me, I swapped that. We are on Twitter at Race Equity DISD, excuse me, and Facebook at DISD REO. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, like us, like our page, follow us, because we also use those platforms to send out updates, community information, resources, updates via social media. So stay connected, get connected with us, come visit us, and we look forward to hopefully speaking with you, seeing you in the equity and bond community conversations, and getting your feedback. And that concludes our presentation.
Okay, it is now time for our interactive Q&A session with our presenter. Just like before, I will ask Monique a few of the most frequently questions asked by our parents and attendees during the presentation using the Q&A feature. So, okay, let's dive right in. Ms. Jones, first question is, how are stakeholders going to be included in the decisions that are made from the Racial Equity Office?
Yeah, excellent question. So one group that we already have is what we call the Trustee Appointed Advisory Council. And so we do have members from the community, right, that are part of that help give feedback and input to the decisions that are making, to the ideas that we are throwing out, right? And so that is one vehicle. This upcoming year, we are looking at other ways in which to engage, thinking about our faith-based community, right, which is great supporters, businesses, right, local businesses, and other community organizations. And so looking to be intentional and make direct contact with those to establish ways in which they can obtain updates and be able to have a direct connection to us.
Okay. Next question. If parents are interested in getting involved, how should they go about doing so?
Yes, please email us at racialequity@dallasisd.com. We are developing our database, and so we want to get those contact information, and so we can, when we start sending out, whether it's newsletters or information, community meetings, you'll be on that list. You'll be the first to know. And then also, if you're volunteering, we are also in the Volley system, and so add your name to that. So again, we can reach out to you if you want to be involved, you want to volunteer. We do a number of programs, and so we would love to have your help and stay connected with you.
Well, that is it. Awesome. And this concludes our second session of the evening. We'd like to thank Ms. Monique Jones for taking the time to present and inform our Dallas ISD families about the great work being done in Dallas ISD, the Racial Equity Office. Thank you, Monique.